it's picks time. Let's take a look at the standings as we welcome Dan from Woodbury.
Am I through the roof?
Into studio.
In the standings?
You had a really good week, and
Seriously?
yet you're still in. You were 3-0, and yet you're still in last place. How's that possible?
Well, I got off to a slow start. I'm very Viking-like in that.
Carl Gerbschmidt, who now joins us from. Are you in Barreiro, or are you on your way to Atlanta?
No, I'm in West Barreiro right now.
Are you going this weekend or not?
To Atlanta?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. Some road trips you've made.
That's a long drive.
That is a long drive. It's never stopped you before.
No, you're gonna have
Are you
some
starting
family
to
over to watch the game?
Are you who?
Some family.
Don't you ever fly?
Well, I don't. It's not that I'm afraid to. Anything. I just don't see any reason to.
Okay.
You used to be a little more passionate about it. I
remember you rented.
I'm very passionate about it.
I remember you rented the RV one time.
The season we care so much about. We're more worried about what happens in the playoffs.
Didn't you rent the RV one time and do a world tour with the Packers?
No, you can't drive around the world in an RV.
Can't put anything past Carl.
Yeah, sorry.
You really can't.
No, that's very true. Common was 3-0. He's now 6-6. Gerby was 2-1. He's now
3-1.
6-6.
I was 3-1.
Guardsy was 2-1. Is now 7-5.
3-1.
I was 2-1. I'm now 8-4.
Well, we're all 3-1.
I will be respected.
Well, you know what?
Do we have to have this conversation again?
We all picked the Packers too, though.
You did not.
Well, yeah, I did.
I did.
Game, I have recorded it.
What are you talking about?
You didn't pick the Packer game last week, and I did.
Oh, we didn't?
I did.
Well, let's just say I'll pick the Packers every week.
3-1.
Packers are in the picks this week.
It should be.
We're
respecting agreement.
Well, yeah, you're right. You're right. Last week
I was 3-1.
Well, you can't have an extra game.
It as a loss because none of you guys picked the right team last.
Well, first of all, we all would have picked the Packers if we'd included that game.
No. Look,
who'd you play last week?
It's for you guys to change the rules. I get it. You don't.
They killed Denver on the road. Yeah, that was an easy pick.
No, that was in Green Bay.
It
wasn't in Green Bay.
Yeah, that was easy. Who wasn't going to pick Green Bay in that situation?
1.5 points. You would have gone the other way.
No, that's not true.
The fact is, you understand you don't want to get your ass kicked on your show every week. I'm leading the ultimate football.
Are there any
radio station, so it's got to be very embarrassing for you. You're supposed to be a sports expert, and I'm just a guy who works on the highway.
Do you have any urgent pleas you want to issue to?
I just want to repeat again. We had real good success last week. 31 people got a hold of me and said, "Carl, I can't do it anymore. I can't root for the Vikings." This was before the game. And I can't do it anymore. I want to root for the champions. And they wanted to be part of the Green Bay organization because eventually, your team's going to move. And right now, you can start rooting for the Packers. Think about how good they felt last week after they destroyed the Denvers.
I put out the same plea for the Lions, and we've got all sorts of fans that are jumping on the Motor City Kitty bandwagon.
What, you did what?
Yep, we got all sorts of people that want to be Lions fans.
Copy me?
Well, actually, I've been doing that for years. Because I pick a different team usually 2 weeks into the season.
Copy me?
Well, I guess you could call it that, but I think you stole the bit from me, to be honest. But that's another story. So, as a Lions fan,
it's just unethical.
As a Lions fan, I always 2 or 3 weeks in, sometimes a week. One time it was 4 plays into the season when we got beat by Atlanta. I pick another team to root for, so I pick new teams all the time.
I would never do that.
Of course not.
I'm offering people the opportunity to come to the team where you never have to do that. You never have. I mean, you can believe in the Lions until they get beat by the Bears this week, or whatever. I mean, the bottom line is that I'm offering you the opportunity to come root for the champions, for the greatest football team in the history of football.
Were you alive when Scott Hunter was the quarterback?
Yeah, I was.
I have a hunch you might have wavered a little bit back then.
Never did. Not 1 second.
How old were you then?
Scott Hunter was misunderstood.
Scott Hunter was?
Yeah.
How so?
Rich Campbell was misunderstood.
Yeah, he's just terrible is what he was.
No, not Eddie Lee Ivory was misunderstood.
Okay.
We didn't quite have all the pieces.
So is Chewy in that.
You have to have the right coach, the right GM.
In that jacuzzi.
Perfect. We were just a little off during the early 80s.
That's very true. Can you explain? I have one Brewers question for you.
I don't watch a lot of baseball.
Can you either of you explain or anybody explain why they have the roof closed today? Other than the stupid notion that MLB says, we want the conditions to be consistent with the first 4 games of the series.
That's the reason. That's what they're saying. It's the most preposterous thing I've ever heard.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Well, because
it's 76 degrees.
Well, here's what I said, too.
Wait a minute. Have you ever been in downtown Milwaukee?
Okay. Yes.
It smells like someone went to the bathroom.
Okay, so let's say the Philadelphia game, for instance, tonight, right? Let's say there's a light rain. Not enough to postpone the game, of course. But could they say, well, we're not going to play the game because it's not in the same conditions as we played the first 4? Or let's say it's really windy tonight. Well, it wasn't windy in the first 4 games, so we're not going to play because the conditions aren't the same. It's ridiculous.
When has it ever been dictated?
Never.
Well, the thing I think the Brewers wanted it, and they're hiding behind Major League Baseball making the decision.
And Selig runs the show.
They seem to love the idea that it's this antiseptic thing, and we have to worry about these other conditions, and it's like, my God, it's just embarrassing.
We're tough for Wisconsin. We can take
you're not that tough. Obviously, they want the roof closed.
Well, and the record...
Baseball's kind of a baby sport.
Open or closed, the record's almost identical, too, so it's not as though they've been getting this great home field. They have the best home record in baseball, but it's not like it's better when it's closed.
It's never open.
Yeah.
They don't hardly ever have it open.
Well,
all summer they've had it closed.
Well, the numbers they showed today, it was open a number of games, and the record was just about the same, percentage-wise.
Yeah, but it kind of smells sometimes in Milwaukee.
Well,
I'm just saying.
So
I like Milwaukee and everything, but sometimes it smells like someone went to the bathroom outside.
So you think they're closing it to keep that smell out?
Well, here in Minnesota, the product stinks sometimes, and they still keep them in.
Minnesota pretty much smells the whole time.
Lions are at home. Monday Night Football. They're selling out. Not only they sell out, I guess they sold 2,000 standing room tickets. Favored by 5.5 over the Bears. Carl.
I have to go first?
Yes.
Monday night game.
Yes, that's correct. On FM 100.3 The Fan.
Here, okay, you know what I mean? All right, here's the deal, is that I think that Detroit in the last 18 games against the NFC is 13-3-2 against the spread. But there's something that I don't trust them. I think that they're going to screw up at some point, but, I don't know. I feel kind of like this is a tough game. This is the hardest game in my mind on the whole board.
Let's not turn it into a Wagnerian opera.
I'll take Detroit.
All right, you'll take Detroit. You'll take the Lions to cover.
Yeah, but I don't like either of those two.
Dan from Woodbury?
They're not very good.
Well, I have...
This could be your coming out party. I
have Lions. How did we spell? We've got an acronym. It's called Lyme's disease. Lions is yielding... Basically what it is the results you just don't believe and you think it's actually going to come to an end is the pessimistic attitude. I'm still not completely sold.
You never will be.
I don't.
They could go 16-0
that's it. That's
and win it all.
That's Lions.
And you say, well, they're going to fall apart next year.
That being said, your Bears. We talked about this earlier today. You and I. I'm not. The Bears are a goofy team. One minute they look pretty good, the next week they're not so good. Detroit.
They look good.
It is in Detroit, right? In Pontiac.
Yes, it is.
So being at Pontiac. And because it's Monday night and they are psyched up and stuff, I do think they'll beat the Bears, and I think they'll cover those points. I think there'll be one undefeated team left in the league after this weekend's playing, and will be the Lions.
I get it. That's a little shot.
So you're taking the Bears to cover, but the Lions to win.
Oh no, I'm taking
Lions. Period.
Yeah, Lions.
Okay.
Period. And I think the Lions will win handily.
I'm going to go Bears to cover.
There's a surprise.
Yeah, that's a surprise.
Not to win. Well, the one thing your club has given up is. People have run on you, and of course, the big if is whether Martz will care about that or remember it, because Martz tends to fall in love with the passing game. But I think he was chastened and learned his lesson last week. So my guess is the Bears are going to keep it close because they are going to be able to run on your club, but they will cover but not win. What do you have for Gardsy?
Gardsy.
He's not here. He doesn't get the pick.
Sauce is picking for him.
I'll pick for him if that's all right, Carl.
Yeah, go ahead, me chunk.
Thank you. I have the Lions in a blowout, 30-3.
Not even close.
Lions cover. They win the whole thing.
Packers are favored by 6 on the road in Atlanta against the Falcons. That is the Sunday night game, which you can also hear on FM 100.3, The Fan, our flagship station.
Oh, so you're running the Packer games on your station.
Dan from Woodbury.
I'm a walking contradiction. I'm a walking, talking, mumbling, stumbling, bumbling contradiction, because I thought the Falcons, I still do think the Falcons are, I just don't think they're as good as they were last year. I think they're going to be that one team that falls back. And the Packers have looked basically unbeatable, and Rodgers has that sort of smirk on his face that leads you to believe that he's seen everything in slow motion, that he's very, very good.
Jedi Knight
kind of a thing. Now, I will say
That's
this.
a good one. I'm writing that one down.
You can write that one down. I kind of you like to use the desperation theory, and I think the Falcons need a game. They need a signature win, too, and it is in Atlanta, right, on a Sunday night?
Sunday night.
I think they're going to somehow find a way to figure out a way to beat Green Bay, and I think Atlanta will win the game, And I think the Lions will be the only undefeated team in pro football after the 5th week of the season.
Carl?
You guys like doing a bit or something. It sounds like you're just doing a bit or something.
There's no bit here. These are
it sounds
well
like
thought out.
I was 3-0.
Kyle mad or something because you can't bother me.
I was 3-0 last week.
Seriously,
I think I'm on a roll.
You can't bother me. I thought for a second that Atlanta might be okay too, but I think that their defense is not as good as I thought it was. I just don't see any way that Atlanta can stop us at all. I mean, I think we'll score pretty much every time we have the ball, and that we'll get a number in at least above 60. So I don't see any way.
God, you are cocky.
I'm not cocky. I just look when you're the best. You can just tell people you're the best, and they can't do it.
Yeah, but here's your fatal flaw.
This is why fans should come with me, because you can. When you walk into a room and you got your thumbs in your armpits and you go, "I'm the best," and the fact of the matter is, there's not one of those people can say a damn thing to you.
Do you know what you don't get?
You can feel good about yourself.
You know what you don't get?
I get everything.
I think most of us would agree. I am in the camp. I said Green Bay is 14-2 this year, minimum. But that means they're going to lose a couple. You can have the best team, and in a certain circumstance, you can still lose. That's what you don't get. You never think that way.
His club's going to have 2 holiday losses. One's Thanksgiving and one's New Year's Day.
New Year's Day. That's the two. Those are the 2 showdown games.
You're just dreaming.
Are you picking Green Bay?
I know that's what you want. That will make you feel good. But seriously, think about joining, because you can walk anywhere and say, "Guess what? We're the best. What are you going to do about it?" And everybody just has to shut up.
Is there an official?
That's the best part of this. Is everyone just shuts up because they got nothing. They can't say nothing to you. When you're the champion, you're the best.
Is there an official?
Champions, we are the man. And if you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. And you're not the man, we're the man. And guess what? We're going to cover that one easy.
Is there an official fan club? Is there an official fan club that you can join? I mean, is there something people can do?
Well, no, you can get a hold of me via Twitter and stuff like that. I'm starting a list. I mean, I talked to one of the guys. Is there a Chuck or something that runs your radio station?
Yeah, it's Chuck.
Yeah, he said he was going to try to get like a page or something where people could go over there and they could sign up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't wait.
Good. I like
that.
Yeah,
and the fact that
we got to get moving here. I got Atlanta will cover. Atlanta might even win, but
I win the ultimate.
Well, no, it's they're the best team, but they've already proven that they're going to have a couple hiccups. Atlanta is desperate. That's too many points.
We could go into a hiccup spasm and still lose and win this game going away.
Although the conditions will be antiseptically perfect because the dome will be closed, and the Packers love to play in those conditions.
Atlanta has no defense, so there's that.
Atlanta to cover, Sauce?
Excuse me. Here's what I have here. The Pack win, but they win in a squeaker. They win by about 3.
Squeaker. Yeah, it's
all you guys are going against me.
Yeah. I picked the Pack.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see.
No, we're picking the Packers to win in a couple cases.
All you football fans, remember who's going to be right on this.
Vikings are favored by 2.5 over the lowly Arizona Cardinals. Gerbschmidt.
See, I tried to be nice last week. I picked the Vikings. That's the game I lost. I said that I was, I feel kind of, it's like I was trying to reach out.
It was a mercy pick.
I was trying to reach out and trying to say, well, look, I feel your pain. And because I do kind of, no, I guess I really don't.
No, you don't.
But the fact of the matter is this, you hang in there, as long as you can. But when you find out that you can't hang in any longer, my arm and my hand is out for you, Vikings fans. I'm holding it wide open for you.
And they call me condescending.
I feel I want to help you. I want you to, and by the way, you can't buy stock right now because they're not selling it. I had a couple people ask me about it. So here's the deal. My hand is open to you, Vikings fans. You can grab hold and say, save me, Kyle. Help me out, Kyle. I need your help.
Sounds like
but
an intervention.
I'm going to help you again this week. I'm going to say you're going to win. I say you're going to win, and I say you're going to cover, okay? I'm doing this for you, Vikings fans, because there's love here. Come over to just be a Green Bay Packer fan and feel our love.
Dan from Woodbury?
I think the Vikings are that team that other teams now look at and say, this is our chance to get things going and turned around. I got to think that the Cardinals, with Cobb and Fitzgerald, especially if Winfield doesn't play, is going to be doubtful.
The latest is doubtful.
Yeah, and if he doesn't play, I think they are in some trouble. I know we like our young Chris Cook character. He might end up developing into a fine player. I just don't think that happens Sunday against Fitzbeat. And so I just think